Hey guys, it's Remy. Before we get into the video, did you guys know this clip you're about to watch is part of a longer podcast? Yeah, we actually premiere these the first Friday of every month over on our Twitch channel with full video and music breaks and all that. It's a really cool time. Twitch.tv/Unheard Sirens Inc. is where you can find it. Also, you can listen to this full podcast over on Spotify. Both the links to those are in the description box below. And also, if you could do me a favor, if you could like and comment and subscribe to the channel, all those things, tell the robots that you love us and help maybe push us out to more and more people, and that would really, really help us out. Without further ado, on with the video. We listen to you guys, and one way that we listen to you guys is for this segment that we're doing, that we just started on our last podcast called Pop Portal, where the two of us, mostly, millennial, well, two kind of millennial, exennials, whatever the hell we are,
But we also are DJs, and we've been listening to like genres. We've been
genres.
Out in
exactly.
genres.
We've been out into fractured into genres, and so
for years. For
what's
like
going
decades.
on exactly? So what's going on in the mainstream kind of pop world, and what's really like going on? We've been completely out of touch with, because last time that was going on, it was like a bunch of Nelly Furtado and stuff like that, and whatever else, and just stuff on the radio that I just really was not into, and like, what the hell's going on here? So I just turned that off and started getting into like rock and stuff like that. So
yeah.
But now the tide's turned a little bit. The pop world's getting a little bit more edgy, a little bit more interesting. The stuff that Gen Z is vibing on is not the cookie cutter kind of like pop formula that has a whole lot of empty
That's
calories
your mama's
for the
pop
most part.
music?
Exactly, that's your mama's pop music. Exactly.
Yungblud would definitely agree with that
and
statement.
so because
parents are not always right.
Yeah, we put the call out. Exactly, we put the call out. We put the call out to you. I put a poll up on our socials on Instagram with a few artists that I had in mind for our next Pop Portal segment. Last episode we reviewed Billie Eilish for the very first time, and this episode I put the call out, and you guys voted on us to review the music of Yungblud, and so I'm very excited to talk about him today because he's definitely somebody I've been aware of. I've been aware of his aesthetic. I've seen him out there, and I've heard a few of his tracks back when I was working at the aforementioned rock radio station at Rock Hits 92.3. Heard a few of his like collaboration tracks, and I thought those were okay, but I just wasn't like.
Yeah.
But I really liked what I could see of his aesthetic and what he was putting out there. The kind of like, gutter punk meets like kind of gender fluid kind of thing. I was definitely vibing on that, and I'm like, okay, I like what this kid's about. I like the message and what he's putting out there. But I wasn't super familiar with his music. I'd heard like a couple of his tracks, but hadn't heard a whole lot. So this was really exciting to delve into. And going into it, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like the music as much as I just like his aesthetic and what he's about. I was pleasantly surprised at the tracks that I kind of cherry picked from his career, going back to like 11 years ago to like. The most recent track that we listened to was literally just came out maybe like 2 weeks ago as of this recording. So, and for the most part, I really enjoyed his stuff. I really
we had watched a couple of his videos before because his aesthetic and the way he makes music videos and like his sort of gender fluid fashion, in your face. Like I love how, he just does not give a shit, like he is just like going right after things that that have bothered him, that have hurt him, but he's like, he's not going to take it down. He's not going to be left behind because of that. And in his music videos, you have these moments where he's really showing things that are obviously very real and very felt experience of like pain and being an outsider. But instead of remaining an outsider, he has this song like, I'm not going to be a loner. He's like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. I like, you might tell me because I seem like an outsider and I seem like I'm not a cookie cutter mainstream perfect son, perfect kid in school. I'm not fitting into any of that I'm just going to be like left alone. I'm going to be isolated and abandoned, but I'm not going to be a loner. And I love that. And I really felt like the way he created through his experiences and embraced his own identity and just smash it right in your face. It's awesome. And it made me think a lot about the Billie Eilish stuff that we were reviewing last time, because there are ways in which in general boys are still socialized to feel empowered about their experiences, and women are still socialized to internalize their experiences. And she has song after song after song that we reviewed that was like slightly suicidal, very depressive, like experiencing a lot of pain, and writing really interesting and pretty enjoyable music about the pain, but it was really stuck in herself, and it was just really still telling us about the pain over and over. And I felt like he started writing anthems for everybody. Like he got out of it and he felt so empowered, and his lyrics were like, parents are not always right, because one of the tracks we're listening to is parents, and it's brilliant.
I wrote,
it's so funny.
I wrote in my notes when I was reviewing that track after Parents, I'm like, this is like the 2010s, 2020s version of Parents Just Don't Understand.
It's true. It is, and there's like every generation is like, they don't get me, And I love what he was saying it, but like I could resonate a lot more with him, because I'm much more in the like, I want to empower myself out of the places that I've been wounded. I've gone through real things. It really, really, really freaking hurt. It was really, really awful. And I want to empower myself and empower others based on that stuff. And I could relate to him so much more than Billie Eilish. Her stuff just felt like kind of how I felt when I was 14. And his stuff is more like how I feel now. And he's younger than me, but I relate to what he's doing so much more personally. And I was surprised.
Me too. Not to like throw Billie Eilish under the bus. Like super talented artist. I really appreciated like sonically and everything that was going on. I think her stuff's beautiful,
and she's writing good stuff, and I didn't have any problem with the music. It was just I didn't feel as close a connection to her. I felt
same.
bad for her. I felt I even felt pity. Like she made me like hurt for her, like listening to her, because she's still hurting so much.
Right, exactly.
And comparing Billie Eilish to Yungblud also makes me frustrated with the ways that we are still so stuck in gender, and that she's been shut down by the world and still really struggling to come out of it.
But I think she's getting
there more now.
There are some similarities.
Helps to be a multimillionaire,
it seemed like there was a bit of that same kind of rebellious energy, though.
Yeah, there was some rebellious and sort of sassy, but I feel like she's got good moments where she's coming out of it, and of course every song's not about the same thing, but on the whole you could just see that like he's just not going to take it sitting down at all. Like he's just I just want more girls to feel that way.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't matter if you're a female. You do not need to take anybody's shit. Parents are not always right. Nobody else has the answer.
I feel like they're both on that quest, that search for freedom that we talk about a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they're both creating authentically, and it's beautiful and it's poignant because it's coming out of their own lived experience. I just really admire and really celebrate what Yungblud's doing. And I love his look. He reminds me of another band that I adore, which is IMX, which is also very gender fluid and very fashion forward and very bisexual and very openly in your face. Like, stop judging this shit. Why are we still hung up on that?
I kept going back and forth like with the music, because like I haven't looked up. I don't really care his personal life. He can
but he has partners in the music videos that are everything.
There was after Parents, I was like, so is he gay? Is he bi? And then like after like I think it was Cotton Candy, I was like, oh, okay, I think he's either bi or pan. One of the, but who knows? Who cares? Who gives a crap?
He's just not limited. He's obviously not limited, and even if in different periods of his life he's had lovers from different.
And by the way, I have to mention, because at the Cotton Candy video,
stand up. I feel like
here he is.
Little tribute skirt.
Yes, little tribute. I had to wear this today because we're talking about Yungblud. Yep. Because I was watching that Cotton Candy video, I was like, I think I own that same skirt.
Good in that skirt. Oh, he looks
he does.
And he has this little like hip flip thing he does. I'm like, oh, you just look so cute. He's really, really
For the audio listeners, I'm also wearing a white pleated skirt, in case you can't see. You got to preface
It was a coincidence. He already owned the skirt.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. But so I really dug it. And I think like not just IMX, but then he also reminds me of with the P.
Oh, Placebo.
Yeah. Like, damn it, it's not Pantera. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about metal
Definitely not Pantera. Pantera is definitely the hyper-masculine kind of side, but yeah.
If you get to know me, one thing you will learn is when I'm trying to find a word, my brain alphabetizes everything, and it keeps it in folders under number of syllables. And that's so funny. That was a seeking word, starts with letter P. This one's 3 syllables. Pantera. No, Placebo. And which Placebo is a huge influence on me. Pantera is not. Pantera is an influence influence on some of my bandmates from Phoenix Noir. I was not particularly listening to Pantera.
What did you say?
Placebo, however, is really awesome.
Another
artist that we'll review in our influences on another episode. But Yungblud reminds me of a lot of the same struggles and like the sort of English identity in IMX also. These are all like young white men from England like struggling with gender norms and identity and you know, and that's just like a common thing since like the 70s. We've seen this sort of emergence across the decades.
No,
and all
I love seeing that,
genres.
and also, you know, Yungblud, like myself, is heavily influenced by David Bowie. He's also a huge David Bowie fan. I think
is this true of Placebo as well?
He either did I haven't listened to it, but he either did a cover or a tribute track called Mars, where he's wearing the Life on Mars makeup and the whole thing. Yeah. So.
But I really liked the track where the guest singer is Willow.
You like that one?
I really like that.
I didn't like it when I first heard it. I was like, this isn't my favorite, but like the second time, I was like, oh, that's pretty good.
I like it because he is very sassy. I like his delivery. He can rap. He can sing. He can go very, very fast. He's really, really clear. He's really communicative. And there's so much energy. Like, it moves really fast. And it's stuff like that's much more punk spirit.
Yeah,
like,
No,
it's hard to find chicks that can keep up with that.
Exactly,
But the reason I love that track is because Willow brings it. I don't know her, but
I think is Willow. I want to say I could be wrong about this. Correct me in the comments if it is. I think that's Willow Smith. I think that's Will Smith's daughter.
Oh.
I think. Okay. I could be wrong, but not that it matters. But anyway, it was really cool.
I loved her vocal delivery. I felt like she could totally keep up with him. It was just really fun, and I liked her tone, like the way she was singing, the style in which she was singing. They're both kind of rap singing, you know, and it's very sharp. It's very sort of nasal. Like, they matched each other really well. I just thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
and the music video is really cool. I thought they were doing a nice thing with expressing the song.
Yeah, if you were to ask me like what genre is Yungblud, I would say like pop rock, but with like punk and like emo influences. I was definitely like, when I was getting up in like the anger, when I was like first getting into music and I was in my kind of punk phase, I was also listening to like a little bit of like the emo screamo stuff. So I definitely see that influence in there as well.
Yeah, I love it. And I mean, you know, being goth and emo, like it didn't even have a name. Like when I first started like DJing like underground industrial electronica dark music, I went to a really awesome school for undergrad, like Guilford, and most everybody like stopped shaving at all, like male or female. Everybody had very long body hair, and there was a lot of like skipping a lot of showers and the kind of vibe where people might smell like body odor and patchouli. And I was wearing fishnets and carrying like a lunchbox purse and DJing like an industrial electronica show. It's like I love the Wood Fairies, and you know I have a little bit of that too. The sort of like goth hippie thing, but it was so funny because I was like one of the only like chicks in my whole community as an undergrad, like wearing black lipstick and wearing fishnets and like looking all like rough and going to clubs and going to live music and going to shows and being DJ at this very earth-centered, very hippie aesthetic kind of school where they're like gonna go follow the dead, and like I'm not. I'm going to end up making my own synthwave music and really admiring Yungblud. Yeah. So I relate to him because like I sort of felt really at odds with mainstream America for sure. But even the alternative place, I went to a very sort of idyllic, beautiful college for like activists and people that believe in equality and want to make the world a better place. I mean, it's super awesome, Quaker college, and it's just like all about egalitarian equality, diversity, and activism. Yeah. And loved that, but still had to be a misanthrope. I still couldn't find, like, I related more to the grr and like to that feeling of not belonging and being frustrated or being like shut into roles, and the kind of dark, edgy, industrial and punk kinds of influences from both Carpenter Brut and Yungblud today. Really, they speak to like what really helped form me, because now I can be a little calmer and I'm a little closer to the wood nymph hippie side. You know, the Empress Owl character in the band is a little bit more this sort of like archetypal, you know, Earth Mother thing, but I have the gur.
Yeah, it's funny because like they I feel like you just said, they both have the gur, but it's very different places. Like Carpenter Brute is definitely more the kind of like metal industrial kind of dark synth kind of synthwave thing, but then like the Yungblud stuff is kind of like sing along like pop anthems, but like it's still the same kind of like energy. It's still definitely a punk rebellious energy, but it's such like catchy songwriting. And I'm not mad about it like at all. Like some people have pointed this out, and I put this like I when I was listening to The Funeral, I'm like, what does this sound like? It sounds like Dancing with Myself by Billy Idol.
And the first song,
and I'm not even mad about it. It kind of sounds like it's definitely taking heavy influence, but I'm not mad about it.
And in Loners, like I'm not going to be a loner. The first time the camera gets on him, and I could tell it was early in his career, and this is probably one of his first big videos, he like does the Billy Idol sneer.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, that's practice.
Oh, I loved it.
And he just like holds up the camera, he's like, does a little, like the Dancing with Myself sneer.
But also, I love the energy. It made me want to go to England so bad, because the energy, it felt so like we're in gritty, like downtown London, we're outside the pub, and chucking beers, and working class, and it felt very like updated Clash, like in a way. It's like working class Britain kind of like
It did. I am not mad about any of his songwriting. I have to say, like, I was so impressed because the Billie Eilish stuff, I might find myself listening to more of it again, and there were things about it that I really liked as I related it to, say, reminds me of some of the stuff from Adele breaking out and Amy Winehouse breaking out. Like, there are things about the sort of soulful songwriting that are really compelling. But I know I'm adding Yungblud to like playlists.
Yeah, me too.
He's gonna be coming
I need
back
to get
up
like
a lot,
more like kind of rock-ish playlists that I would like edge toward that I would fit in. But yeah, for sure. Like I'm gonna be
listening to this a lot. Like I definitely did not know for sure. I mean, we had watched the like Parents video for like the aesthetic, and so I knew a little bit about it. But it was nice seeing like a wider array of his work, and I was like, man, I'm a fan of every bit of this.
Yeah, you can tell he's been through some stuff. Like I saw, like especially with like was it? It's like God Don't Bury Me. So what the hell this song is called? I'm blanking on it right now. I'm looking it up as we speak, because the shot might be a little weird. God Save Me, but Don't Drown Me Out.
Oh, God Save Me.
You can tell like the beginning of that video when there was a lot of like the parents fighting and the people like yelling over him. And I just recently looked up a quote like on his like I think Wikipedia some bio somewhere, but said that like he grew up in a home where like his parents were fighting like a lot and stuff like that, and you could tell you can tell, I don't know if it's like how much personal experience, if it's like amplified or whatever, but you can tell he was probably like, like a lot of queer kids. He probably like struggled with, parents not accepting him for that, like a lot of
I love it. The video for God Save Me, but Don't Drown Me Out is really beautiful.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the video, you should watch it.
Yeah. Because
the beginning, it shows all of this background before the song begins. It's really cinematographic.
It's dealing with some
heavy. Long.
It's dealing with some heavy things of like
and then the big
broken
teddy bear
families
shows
and
up
like
with the sign.
Yeah, exactly.
And just says, "Are you okay?" on the sign, and he shakes his head. But that's the best part. It
balanced tone so well because like it didn't get too depressing for me. So it got to just a point, and then like the teddy bear becomes like an avatar, and it like becomes like an imaginary friend, and like beats up bullies for him with a baseball bat.
That's why I was saying that there was so much in this that made me think about gender, and that as a queer kid, as an outsider, as somebody who struggled didn't fit, but luckily was born male, and that still matters. By 60 seconds into the video, the teddy bear is rescuing him. They're going out, they're in the streets, they're having fun, they're turning it into, like, we're going to do something with this. Yeah. But obviously he's encapsulating years and years and years of life experience into that. But I love that he lands in, let's get out of this. Let's get through it and go do something.
Exactly.
And I just want that to be a message that gets out there. I love that that's something considered pop that's getting to more young people, because this should not be limited by gender. Yeah, I just 100%. Don't want any of the queer kids, any of the pansexual or non-binary kids. Like, we should all be able to kind of feel hopeful and get inspired by an artist like Yungblud, because I feel like he's done a really good job of going through some real shit. Yes. And then
And he also does a really
it.
good job of putting, like, he is maybe the king of doing that on, like, social media as well. He's really good at that. I'm probably going to be watching I'm already following him, but I'm probably going to be watching definitely what he's doing and then applying some of those to those, you know, what he's doing to what we're doing. I want to show you a few of the things, because they're just, like, so good, some of this stuff. Just the way he uses socials.
I mean, I spent the last 18 months really grappling with who I want to be.
Yungblud, to people who don't understand it or don't feel it, is a caricature. They don't go inside what it means. They don't go inside what it means to people. They don't understand that I'm a person. This whole thing has been me and an iPhone and millions of people connected. And it's everywhere. It's in every single country, in every single city. I can't believe that it's real when I walk out in Poland, in France, in Mexico, where they don't even speak my language. It would be such a genius thing if this was manufactured, but I'm telling you, I'm not that clever. Every single one of us wants to feel loved, and if you don't, you're lying. Who is Yungblud? This point? I don't know. You decide.
Brilliant. Well, and I like that. He has this playing with dichotomies and finding balance. You know, there was like the song lyrics, like, it's okay to hate yourself, it's okay to love yourself. Like, he's playing with that. Like, in moments we're going to mock or doubt or despise ourselves, but we're also going to love ourselves. Like, you do both. Like, don't stop. Don't get stuck in one. If you only love yourself, you might never have any humility. But if you only despise yourself, you're often listening to too many outside voices that are not real and they're not right. You have to also find the thing that loves yourself. That every person needs to have a little bit of self-loathing along with a bunch of self-respect. We need to find a balance. And I really like that about him. I feel like it's really clear in the music. I love that it's really arch. He said in that TikTok post, you know, that there's a caricature, and it is that sort of new Clash, you know. It's very, you know, and the crowd surfing and like it's so punk, and I just love it. But I can tell from the songwriting, like the person, a real person that's gone through some stuff, really comes through. Yes, and I like that. Sure. I like that he's really playing with the light and the dark. In that way, and then it's the way forward. Like, he's acknowledging the light and the dark, and then he moves forward. And I really want life to be like that. You know, that we're going to have to deal with both the light and the dark, and then we do something with it. Then we move forward, and we express ourselves, and we try to communicate, and we try to connect, like he was saying in that video. You know, it's just him and an iPhone and millions of people connecting. Here we are with our iPhones, millions of people. Where are you? We just want to be connecting.
This is an Android, but anyway.
My iPhone got all filled up, so we're with the Android today, but it works perfectly well.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's right. I will not stand any of this Android hate.
No.
Not in this dojo.
No.
But anyway, I think that's a good place to close. I'm gonna let's close with you know, one of Yungblud's words here. This is like
last night I played Poland. A year ago I told you all that I would paint your streets with beautiful colours in solidarity with your cause and your fight. I want you to know that I see you, I think about you all, and I am with you every single day. Yungblud is about all of us. It's about a generation who come together to enact positive change in this world. And the people who try and hold on to an old ideology that will hold us back will inevitably fail, because we'll outgrow them all. Never, ever be ashamed to be who you are. I promise you we're winning, even if they don't see it yet.
Be proud of who you are! He's a bad hoodie. I have a bad hoodie. We should definitely hang out.
Yes.
You can wear your white skirt and I can wear my bad hoodie and we'll like match him.
Yes.
we could totally hang out with Yungblud.
Yeah, totally, for sure.
He would be so much fun
for the audio listeners, that was a video from his TikTok. He's painting basically a rainbow in the streets of Poland after one of his shows. Yeah. Very awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Yungblud, I think we are fans now.
I'm a fan.
We are fans.
I'm a fan. I want to hang out.
Hell yeah.